We sleep but can't get no rest. Got a society that's got E. coli laced food. They're selling it over the counter. So you can buy prescriptions over the counter. So you'll have to make funeral preparations over the counter. This is the kind of society we live within. Tell your neighbor, we need somebody. You can run away from God, but I'm trying to tell you, you need somebody. Big mama ain't got enough money tied up in her handkerchief. She ain't got enough money hid in her secret bank. Y'all know where I is, don't you? You're going to need somebody when the seas are raising. Boy, help me preach this tonight, brother. Can't get no quiet, even when it's peaceful. We shudder to desire because we ain't got no hope. Some of us feel like we're living without a future. And if you look with a spiritual eye, you can see a time that's filled with fainting souls. People just give up. Just move out of their rent house. Move under the bridge. Start hanging out with folk they don't even know.
That's right.
Sleeping on people they ain't never met.
All right.
Taking their old nasty shirt off and somebody else is putting it on.
My Lord.
Crawling through trash cans looking for a half-eaten hamburger.
That's right.
And not really worried about whether it'll kill them or cure them.
That's right.
So I said that we were in Liberty. You know, when we were last Friday night at a banquet, I told them in our church, we talk about faith. Everybody, tell your neighbor you got something.
You got something.
Yeah, you bought a car you couldn't afford and believed you were going to pay for it, but I don't.
All right.
You got some faith.
That's right.
You came right in here and plopped down on the pew without checking to see if it was holding. You got some faith. You got some faith. Come on, talk back to me. All of us got some faith. The question is, what kind of faith do you have? I like to say, you wake up on the morning you never saw before, you got a pain in a place you didn't know you had. Get in a car you didn't build, drive down streets you didn't install. Stopping at red lights you don't mechanically understand how to operate. On your way to a doctor you've never seen before, whose degrees you haven't confirmed. You give him some symptoms that he's familiar with the first time you talked about it. He go look in a book on the shelf, blow the dust off of it, look in there and come up with the name of a disease you ain't never heard. He writes you out a prescription you don't know how to read. You take it to a pharmacist you never met. He give you some pills you can't pronounce and put them in a bottle you don't know how to open. And you go home and say, it say take one every 4 hours. Brothers and sisters in plain language, Max, there are times when stuff just don't look good. Amen. Come on, mothers. You used to tell when something was spoiled by the smell. Everything you took out of the icebox. See, our friends know refrigerators. Amen. They don't know nothing about icebox. Amen. But that was mornings when you got up and the ice had melted. The food was wet, but it wasn't cold. And you had to use your nose. Where you say, come here, mama, and smell this. Amen. But we done got to the place now, we keep thinking that desperation day. Do I have anybody in here? We pick up stuff and let me see. No, it ain't expired. It's worse. You'd be better off if you didn't know the expiration date. You see it's clamping, you shake it, it's still separated. You see the taint on the end, but you still say it haven't expired. It go on leaving. It done expired, and so will you. Let me preach this thing. Yeah, just time when things don't look good. The book of Jonah is what I would call a good review for fainting folks. You are in here, you feel like giving up, this may be for you. You are a believer. Somewhere in church, Your youth, they told you that God will always come through for you.
All right.
This is for you. You've met people who told you that he didn't save them, he didn't help them, but maybe they weren't sanctified. Maybe they weren't holy.
All right.
Maybe they were just pretending.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Maybe they were in a house that they didn't live there. There's a difference when you come to my house with my daughter.
All right.
That's her house. She can go places you can't go.
That's right.
She can leave with stuff you can't leave
All
with.
right.
So everybody who go to God asking for a blessing can't always expect it, cause tell you maybe they don't live there. This book details the mysterious mistakes of a saint, no less a prophet and preacher.
Yeah.
You expect others to make it, but not people who's supposed to know the Lord.
Yeah.
He had been chosen by God. Yes, he had been selected by God, chosen. He had been cleaned by God. He was saved by grace.
Yeah.
Not only chosen and clean, but he had been called because he had gone to school for the prophets. Then he was consecrated
Yeah.
because God had put the word in his mouth.
All
And
right.
finally, he comes to his commission. God had sent him on assignment. And I know that there are times when saints feel that their salvation is personal. But most of the time, God saved you. He saved you to save somebody else.
All right now. All right.
Come on, talk back to me. Too many times, we just think it's for us. Amen. He ought to save me today and take me to heaven tonight. How many of y'all want to go tonight? He taught me that. I didn't see nobody hold their hand. And if y'all was watching me, I took mine down. So the purpose is to save you so somebody can see him in you. Sometimes God wants to send us through calamity so that somebody who watching you can see what he do for you. Come on. Anybody here want to be a test tube? Anybody here want to be a scientific experiment? Oh, that's what salvation is. Oh, y'all ain't with me. I ain't got enough time to give all this. But now, you watch Jesus work with water. I believe he went to a wedding and he worked with water. I've seen him change lives with water. I've seen him help people cross over a sea by spreading water. But they had never seen him walk on water. And sometimes what Jesus wants us to know is he can do what he wants to do with anything he created but man. Oh, Lord. But us. Everything else he tell what to do, they do it. When you get to heaven, if Jonah went, ask him. Listen to this. Jesus had a scripture, Matthew 28. Go ye what? In all the world and preach to God. This was meant for Jonah too, Superintendent Cooper. He said, those people, they rabble-rousers, they troublemakers. They get on your last nerve and under your thin skin. But I need you to go down there and help them discover more about me. That's what God is asking us to do. That's why he has stretched your spirit out. That's why he has sit on your blessing. That's why he has held you back. Because he's waiting until you discover I can do all things through Christ. I'm talking to folk who got thank you so much. Well, let me get through. Jonah heard the call. Tell your neighbor, Yeah, he heard the call, but he just heard God's voice. But when it came time to go to Nineveh, Jonah, like many of us, went the other way. If you walk with me through this text, you're going to be able to spot fainting souls and raging seas. Quickly, if you just remember that at verse 7, Jonah's early error is seen when he discovers my soul. That's what he said, my soul, in verse 7. Since when does a soul become yours? See, that's some of us. I think. Anybody see where I am? God said one thing, but I think. All of us got opinions.
That's right.
It would be better that you had mine than your own. Because you would have doubt in mine and you got so much confidence in yours. And this text is trying to tell us that's what creates fainting souls. The one thing that you are in charge of is the fainting soul. Tell your neighbor, God's in charge of the raging sea. Oh yeah, then God is the kind of person who knows that he breathes life into our mortal bodies. And then man becomes a living soul. Then what God does is that he uses material that he uses to make everything, and everything he makes and the material are all subject to change. Listen to me, church. When they are mixed with another substance, tell your neighbor they're subject to change. When you get clothes and mix it with fire, you end up with ashes. When you take salt and sugar and mix it up with water, you either come up with sugar water or salty water. Yes, with flour and milk, you end up with cloudy milk. If you mix dirt with rain, you got mud. All are subject to change because souls, when they're mixed with fainting, they end up because they're disobedient. I said they're subject to change. Fainting is not a new disease. It happened when Adam and Eve sinned and he went hide. Tell your neighbor they wasn't playing hide and go seek him. It happened to Abraham when he lied about Sarah being his sister. Happened to Moses when he became a fugitive from justice after he had killed an Egyptian. Y'all gonna pray with me? It happened to David after he had gone in with Bathsheba. He messed up, covered up, and never looked up. It happened when Peter lied, cried, and denied. It happened to Judas before he committed suicide, but he committed separation. It happened when Jonah decided that he would run from God than to walk with God. What would you do when your soul feels like fainting? What would you do? Who is your favorite buddy? Who is your FBB that you send your tweet and text and periscope to? Who do you Instagram and email when you know things are going wrong because you've been wrong? This is what's going on because fainting is a weakness. Tell your neighbor it's a weakness. And it results when we trust ourselves more than we trust God. Wise man Solomon told us something else. Trust in the Lord. All about what heart and lean not to our, come on, but in all our ways, even the ones you don't understand, you got to trust him. Jonah had been given an assignment. The assignment came from God. But Jonah didn't like it. Nineveh was Judah's enemy. They had brought hurt, harm, and danger on Judah. Some theologians believe that the Ninevites had raped one of Jonah's daughters. And how is it that Jonah wants to go help somebody who's violated his king? Well, if I can help you here, whenever we sin against God, usually it's what we do to or with one another. So when we sin with somebody else, we violate one of God's daughters. Hello, man, let me talk to y'all. When you produce God's children and you don't take care of them, you violate one of God's daughters. Don't y'all be looking around. I'm talking to some of y'all who are looking around. Amen. Sisters, I ain't going to leave y'all out. Y'all know I'm an even money preacher. Amen. When you overspend what your husband makes,
Come on now.
you got it. That's all right. I'm going to be all right. When he got to leave his wallet in the car, you violating one of God's children. That was his enemy. They raped, they maimed, they killed, they kidnapped. They did all kinds of things, and being asked to use his prophetic gifts to help them was just too much. Y'all see where I'm coming from? If anybody ever asks you to do something for somebody you know have hurt you, they'll run you down, they'll ditches for you. Amen. Something in your life got worse because something in their mouth went bad. They picked you out to be somebody they picked on. And then as soon as they get in trouble, here they come. Here they come. And can we fix it? I know I was wrong. How can we fix it? Yeah, when I start out there, put your hands in your pocket. And you get on lots of Christians are like that today. They don't mind serving God when it's comfort, when it's honor. Come on, when it's quick, when it's easy, when it's free. They don't mind that. When the blessings are being handed out, their church goes. But when the discipline is being handed out, their church leaves. When it's time to build a ministry, when it's time to help feed the homeless, what time y'all gonna feed? We gonna feed from 10 to 2. I'll be there at 2:30. When it's time to clean the church, amen. When it's time to serve in the auxiliary, who they think won't be usher? Nasty as them people are. Yeah, I ain't helping nobody find a seat. Amen. I guess y'all might well talk back to me. I don't even cut my own yard. Who they think gonna cut the church yard? You know, but then when the blessing comes, amen. I got my number. Somebody shout, I'm next. Well, you know, it's just that way. But let me tell you about Christians. Christians are like parking lot saints. Anybody with me? Parking lot saints. You ever see people drive all the way around the parking lot just to get one on the corner? They stay out there an hour trying to wait for somebody to leave that they can park where you can only park on one side. Well, don't some members come to church and get at the end of the pew, and everybody who comes, they got to step out so everybody else can get in? Are y'all looking at me like y'all ain't got none in your church? How about the Christian who park over the line? They take up 2 spaces. I'm talking about the sister who got the baby bag over here, and her purse over there, and her coat over there, and really she ought to have the sign say, you can't sit next to me. I'm talking about parking lot Christians. Some parking lot Christians park in the no parking zone. You know the altar is right there. And they get them a chair where their feet stuck out in the aisle. And when they try to get to the altar, they got to step over somebody's feet. That's parking lot Christians. Then you got Christians park in the fire lane. The fire lane is where folks run when they get happy. And you got folks be right in the way, and then they turn their back like they don't see you coming. The text says, he knew the power of the preached word. After all was said and done, Dr. Cooper, didn't he say, I knew you were going to save them? See, he knew that if he did what God said, that they were going to convert. Problem in church is we don't want everybody to get better. We got some folk in church, we want to leave them like they are. We've decided they're a little bit worse than me. And if God come to get the worst folk first, I want him to get him before he get me. So this text comes, he went to Tarshish. The book says he found the ship going to Joppa. Paid his fare with money God had let him earn. Went aboard, went down to the bottom of the sheet and went to sleep. The text says that when the wind blew soft, They raised their sail, and they sailed on.
Yes.
But if you watch God, God did not let the danger come until his derelict saint had become disobedient. He never rocked the boat as long as Jonah was trying to get settled. Oh yeah, sometimes he's trying to see just how disobedient you can be.
That's right.
I ought to have somebody help me preach that. Sometimes it starts out, it's minor.
Yeah.
But it's like a baby, it's just minor. Sometimes it's just a baby, it's just a seed in your belly. But after a while, it becomes something to start kicking on you. Come on, help me. And you can't wait to get rid of it, and then when you get it out of you, then it get on you. After it get on you, it get in your pocket. It get in your insurance policy. It start messing with your bank account. It get in your car unexpectedly. You can't find money, you can't find keys, you can't find car, and can't find your child. And you start thinking that's the way it is when you're disobedient. Hello, he'll grow something right in you. Make you love it, and it don't love you. And then you'll be wondering what to do with it after it has gotten everybody shout out of control. Well, I'm going to get through. If I had just a little bit more time, I think we're faced with fainting souls. Truth is that it's because of our disobedience. Oh, I know. Sometimes he's preparing me for something I can't handle now. I heard that. But most of the time, God just whooping me because I just done messed up.
All right.
I just didn't do what he said.
That's right.
Yeah, y'all might well help me. You know us, we can easily say, if I had not gotten involved, I wouldn't be hurt now. If I had not said yes, I wouldn't be pregnant now.
All right.
If I had paid my tithe, I wouldn't be broke.
All right.
And if I had just believed in God, I wouldn't be in all this pain.
All right.
Romans 7:19-20 say, for the good that I want to do. I what? Come on, I do it not. But the evil which I don't want to do. That's exactly what I do. Now, if I do that I don't want to do, it's no more me that I do it, but the sin that dwelleth in me. Flip Wilson used to say the devil made me do it. We are losing things, and it's because of our disobedience. We're having surgery because of illnesses. We're stiff-necked and hard-hearted. We're friendless, and therefore we're lonely. We are uncomfortable because time has become a thief. It has stolen our strength, our vision, and our hearing. We struggle now with no peace and no joy.
All right.
Even when our children come around, it's incomplete. Our looks are fading, and hair is either turning gray or turning loose. And all around us are fainting souls and raising seals. So as I get ready to close this thing, the church is sort of like the boat that Jonah was in. Sometimes our trials are like the storm that rose. Our members are like the sailors that are on the boat. And the problem is with nobody but us. But the whole of Jonah's situation started to change when he said, I remembered prayer. His prescription brought him hope. For it rose, and it's a good solidity for all fainting souls. Your business failure is nothing but a fainting soul. A doctor's diagnosis is nothing but a fainting soul. When you stand next to the grave of a loved one, that's nothing but a fainting soul. All of them are in a raging sea. Jonah said, I remember the Lord. If I could talk to him, I'd tell him the problem with you is that you forgot the Lord. He admits, I remember. When he caught the ship, he didn't remember. When he paid his fare, he didn't remember. When he went down to his state, he didn't remember. didn't remember when he laid his head on his pillow. He didn't remember when the disease started coming out of his mouth. He didn't remember. But when the ship began to rock, oh Lord, when the ship began to roll, Jonah said, I remember. That's God touching you on the shoulder. That's God hitting you on the knee. That's God keeping you on the skin. That's God pulling on your coat. That's God getting your attention. Tell your neighbor, the Lord is my sword and shield. The Lord is my buckler and defense. The Lord is my joy and sorrow. The Lord is my hope for tomorrow. The Lord is my all in all. Go high five somebody. Tell them my friend is here. We've been there before. Everything was once shining, but it then got contaminated. And Brasso can't return the shine. Sometimes it takes the blood. I wish I had somebody here. So he says, now that I'm here, watch what he does. It's enough trouble in the boat. But what does he want to do? Throw him out the boat. Can y'all see that? See, when you disobey God, your mind gonna turn on you. You gonna go from bad to worse. Oh yeah. Yeah, he thought he was having trouble in the boat. But he was still, it was water getting in the boat, but the boat stayed in the water. But then he said, I'm your problem. You know what he think? If I repent, things will change. Yeah, but God said, I ain't through with you yet. Why don't you tell your neighbor, he ain't through with you yet. You may be through with your sin, but your sin may not be through with you. Out of the boat, he ran the danger of being swallowed by the whale. And then he thought, I have gone from the frying pan to the fire. But I need you to hear me tell you as I get ready to go, that God had some ready-made transportation. Because the Bible said he prepared a fish. Am I right? He prepared. Let me tell you what God did. God took a measuring stick and knew how long Jonah was. He took a tape measure and knew how wide it was. And God then prepared a fish just big enough for Jonah. And then told the fish, go by this particular ship and sail along with the ship. Just look up at the ship and see, well did what Jesus said. He looked up at the ship and then God told him, open your mouth. And the folk threw Jonah right into the water. And God said, that's the passenger. And the whale swallowed him up. Took him where he should have gone on his own. Threw him up on dry ground. And he made a 2-day journey in 1 day. That's the way the Lord will do you. So if you got it tonight, that you are a fainting soul, tell your neighbor, I hope God calls me into the raging sea. He will. Yeah. He will. That's the way you need to go. He will do with you what he planned. He will make things all right. He will. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, he will. I'm not didn't take you by that cross. Have I got somebody here? You got to go by that cross. Jesus knows all about your trouble. How do I know? He had a fainting soul in the middle of a raging sea. Do I have a witness here? He turned into the Garden of Gethsemane and he went on his knees and said, Father, let this cup pass. There are times in the cage you don't want to go, but the Lord trying to take you. He said, Father, let this cup pass. Ain't that a sign of a fainting soul? He looked at the shadow across the Kidron Valley, down in the valley, up on the hill. They had some cross. To him, there was a raging sea. He said, Father, don't take me through that. But Jesus knew that Daddy knows. Tell your neighbor, Jesus knew what Daddy knows. And Daddy knew it was going to be all right. We prayed, yes he did. But while on his knees, he found a nugget. And the nugget is a three-word hyphenated word. Never the less. And he went on, not my will. That's what Jonah should have said. Not my will, but thy will. That's what you need to say. Not your will, but his will. He went on, went to that cross. They nailed him, they killed him, they broke him down. But I'm Lord of my feet. I'm so glad because what he did, I can do. Tell me tonight, is that you? Can you do what your master did? Can you go where your master went? Can you take what your master took? Yeah! Put breath in your life. Life in your limbs. He's worthy of the praise. Oh yeah. God bless his life. Bless his name. The Bible says he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above. Listen. Listen. Look at God. It is said that most Jews cannot swim. If you look at the Olympics, I think 1 medal in the history of the Olympics has been won by Jews. So tell your neighbor it's highly unlikely that Jews can swim. But some of God's greatest work with Jews have been around water. I just wish they had a couple of witnesses. Well, amen. Get through with my little sermon. When they put Moses in the water, it was technically the desires of Pharaoh. Put him in the river. God said, then I'll take over. You always put the slave in water that floats away from the captive nation. So by all intents and purposes, Moses should have floated away from Pharaoh's daughter. But the Lord said, I'll take control. And then at the same time, his mama was fixing the little skiff. Pharaoh's daughter was skipping rope, getting the... And so when she needed a bath, that's when God threw the rope her way. I ain't through. He took 2.4 million people down to the Red Sea at high tide. 660,000 gallons. And they said to Moses, why you bring us to the river? We can't swim. And God said, you won't have to. You see, some of y'all are afraid of where God's taking you. And he done already made provision for you. Wait, I ain't through. Watch God work with water. First they came through too much water. Then they complaining about no water. Then he said, touch the rock, and they got water. Then it was bitter water. But the Lord said, cut down a tree and let the sweet gum fall into it. And he changed the taste of the water. I ain't through. When he got to the Jordan River, high tide again, they say, we can't swim. He said, put a rock in the water. And then let the priest step in the water. If you follow your leader, they'll take you through some rough places. So they put rocks in the river. And then they just stepped on the rock. And everybody made it. I ain't through. He went to a wedding. They had run out of joy juice. But he said, bring me some water. I ain't through. They were sailing across a stormy sea. He was back there. They say he was asleep. He never slumbers asleep. What he does with his eyes closed is he's watching to see what you gonna do. And he rolls up and put ears on the wind. He rolls up and put ears on the water. And then he said, peace. And they did what he said. But I ain't through. Had to have a man named Peter, P-E-T-E-R, to do the same thing Jonah, J-O-N-A-H. 5 letters in Jonah, 5 letters in Peter, 5 letters in Jesus, 5 letters in trust, 5 letters in faith. And when you come down to the river, leave your doubt at home. Hello? And so after he blessed them to survive the storm, he still had to use water one more time. And so when he told them, let's go across, it should have been troubling to them that he didn't get in the boat with them. Because if they say, aren't you coming? I'll be on a little later. So if you're sailing by yourself and it seems like he's not with you, tell your neighbor, when you get in trouble, he'll be on the record.
I don't want to cheat anybody out of a blessing. I'm just going to give you 30 seconds. Just get up and just give God all you got. Just 30 seconds. Give God 30 seconds. Praise. Anybody need to give God 30 seconds? Praise. Give him a 30 seconds. Praise. There's something about the anointing.